Education is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, and beliefs. Education in the Philippines is notable for our strong knowledge in English, which could be a global tool in personal economic growth. But on the other hand, lack of education is also present in our country. High dropout rates, inability to pursue their studies due to poverty, and many more. Students start to work at a young age, which results to them not going to school anymore. With the advancement of technology, online classes are now being implemented in schools and also to serve as a learning material in our homes.
Is lack of education a national concern? For me, yes. Yes, because it leads to poverty. Another reason is that uh, it increases the unemployment rate. And then when the unemployment rate increases, it means that the country will lose production, and then the its consumer spendings will be low.
Yes, lack of education is a national concern because there's a lot of Filipino who doesn't know how to read. For example, when they withdraw in the ATM, they would take a lot of time just because they can't understand what they're doing. That's which would go much more smoothly and faster if they were able to study. So that's just an example, but if everyone can have education, our people would have much easier and smoother time to what they do, and our country will be a much better country.
So, nakakaapekto talaga yung lack of education sa bansa natin, which is super evident na yung effects niya from the high crime rates at sa poverty, sa lawak ng squatter area sa bansa natin. Although, hindi necessarily na kapag hindi ka nakapag-aral, sira na yung buhay mo. Kasi yung case na yun, usually, galing sa yung mga taong yun, galing sa may kayang pamilya. So, kahit hindi sila magtrabaho, okay lang, may makakain sila, and hindi sila magre-resort to mga pagnanakaw, ganun. Tas yun, kasi kapag, syempre, sa pagpipili ng mga trabaho, yung mga kumpanya, mas pipiliin nila yung mga nakapag-aral, yung mga nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Sa bansa natin ngayon, sobrang taas ng unemployment rate. So, syempre, mas pipiliin naman nila yung mga nakapagtapos ng college kaysa dun sa mga wala talagang pinag-aralan. So, yun, parang mas napupush back sila sa mga tatanggapin. Kaya parang dahil feeling nila hindi na sila makakakuha ng trabaho, nagre-research sila sa ways na ikakasama pa ng lahat. So parang nag-chain effect lang lahat. From parents mo or sa lolo mo na hindi nagtrabaho, parang hindi nag-end yung cycle na mahirap ka ngayon, mahirap ka pa rin sa susunod yung anak mo magiging mahirap, ganun. So, pakalat-kalat lang. Mga influence lang ng mga bad ways, ng evil ways ng para lang sa mag-survive sa mundong to.
The group that is most affected by this issue are the people who live in the provinces, because these people mostly focus on practical things such as their farming or taking care of their animals. So most likely these students will just succeed their family's business or just help in their family.
So I think the group that is mostly affected by our issue, lack of education, is the people who don't get help at all, especially from the government, because lack of education or no education at all is going to affect their future a lot, because they don't have any prior knowledge, so they won't probably get a high paying job or be able to sustain their lives. So I think they're the most affected people in this issue that we chose.
For me, the government is not making the lack of education a concern because, as you can see, schools are lacking classrooms, teachers, books, and materials for a better education. And the government isn't always there to support this kind of issue. Next is the society. The society is alarmed about this concern, so they often donate books, notebooks, chairs, papers, and many more. They know that this issue needs to be solved at once. Next is the school. Same as the society, they are also alarmed about this concern. That is why schools are making their teachers teach more than one subject and also works overtime so that the quality education will be implied to the students.
I think that the government is not doing their job enough when it comes to funding libraries, since I learned in our unique seminar that the government are only funding facilities like classrooms, but they aren't funding libraries. That's why I think in public schools there's a lack of learning resources like textbooks, because they do not have enough funds to support their libraries.
No.
So I think that online classes are not beneficial to students because we lack social interaction with one another, and that when someone teaches you face to face, you learn more than you usually learn from the YouTube tutorials, step by step in the internet, and other things. That's why I believe that online classes are not effective.
I think online classes are beneficial for students in a way that they could not go to school on the day of the online class, or they could go home early if their last subject is an online class. But again, it might be difficult in a way that when you have questions, it's hard to reach the teacher sometimes, because of their lack of presence, and that is the only thing that I see as a disadvantage of an online class.
So about online classes, I don't exactly agree or disagree to it, because the way I see it, there is an equal amount of benefits and disadvantages to it, to both the students and the teacher. Benefits includes you don't have to spend money going to school, you can just stay at home. The disadvantages though is that you have to have internet connection to be able to connect to online classes, and some other benefits is that you can do more research since it's online, but since it's online you can get lost in social media, so you'll lose your focus. And I think that it's better to learn in an actual classroom where you can interact with your schoolmates and you can actually ask the professor. So the way I see it, it's an equal amount of benefits and disadvantages, so I don't exactly agree or disagree to online classes.